Technology guru Matt Porter back on the show with us. Hi, Matt. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, my friend. Several things to talk about today. Let's begin with Britbox. Everybody's talking about Britbox. Now, what is that, Matt?
So Britbox is a subscription service which has been launched today, I believe, which is a joint venture between the BBC and ITV in order to provide their vast content to viewers, similar in many cases to, I guess, Netflix or Amazon Prime Video and that kind of service. So it's a way of providing this vast library of his programming to viewers.
What's the difference between that and the watch again thing on your Skybox, which has the hub on it? It has the BBC iPlayer on it.
I think that this is a contentious issue, really, because it's quite a crowded space already. This is a service which has been launched, which is already, pretty full, where you've got things like Amazon Prime and Netflix and Now TV and those kind of things, which are all kind of catch-up services and providing, in the case of something like Amazon and Netflix, they're providing very high-quality original programming. So in order to be able to compete with them, you've got to provide something which improves upon that kind of service. And are you going to end up paying another £5.99 to another service and not getting a variation? I mean, I did have a look today very quickly, and although it's early days, I looked at iPlayer and I found Gavin and Stacey on there, and I found a few other series in full, and I went on Britbox and I found exactly the same programming.
Yeah,
I could go to Netflix and find exactly the same as well.
Netflix, yeah, Gavin and Stacey is on Netflix. And aren't people going to say, Matt, well, hang on a moment, I've paid my TV license, I paid to have those TV programs made, why am I paying again?
Well, this is, again, I have to agree. A lot of the programming is available on iPlayer already, which is included in our license fee. Is that going to be stripped of that content and it be pushed into a subscription model? So are people who don't have the extra money or technical nous to be able to watch these services, are they going to, going to lose out? And again, people like who might be paying Netflix, is that programming going to be removed that's currently sitting on the likes of Top Gear and Gavin and Stacey and all of those Peaky Blinders? They're all on Netflix. Are they going to be pulled off Netflix onto Britbox? And can we put up with all of these services? I find it quite a struggle already. And I'm the tech man.
Yeah, well, exactly. So they are. I mean, they're kind of trying to amalgamate them. I noticed that Netflix now is part of your Sky, or can be part of your Sky package now, can't it?
Yeah, that's right. And also Virgin were doing the same thing. I mean, I use a TV box called Roku or whatever, which is quite a common box to use. Yeah. They make boxes for other people, and when I use that, I get, if you like, apps on the screen, so I can pick iPlayer, YouTube, Netflix, Amazon, Apple TV, all of these other services, because you have all of them. I mean, let's not also forget that we have, aside from iPlayer, we have Channel 4 have their own on-demand service, Channel 5 do, UK TV do. They're all of these services already providing, and some of those, like the Channel 4, do a 4 Plus, which is another, you pay some money and you don't get the adverts, the same as ITV2 as well. It's a very confusing space, and I've thought about it quite a lot this morning. How is all of this going to play out?
Well,
is it all going to be sucked up by Britbox, or are they going to have all these multiple services?
There are only so many good programs out there. I mean, that is a finite thing. And how many times, Matt, have you gone through your Sky, then you've gone through your Netflix, then you've gone through the Amazon, and you still can't find anything to watch?
I agree. I've signed up with Britbox this morning on a 30-day trial. I'll have to make sure I cancel it if I don't enjoy it. Now, I've looked at the content on there, and I'm not sure whether I want to do. I want to sit down and watch every single Carry On film back to back.
Right.
And that's there's Porridge on there. There's lots of very very popular stuff from 30 or whatever 30 years ago, 40 years ago. I'm not sure how entertaining we might find that if we decide to do what I did with something like Breaking Bad and watched it back, watched the whole thing
lot at once.
over the course of 2 weeks.
I'll tell you what we'll
I'm going to do the same.
We'll come back to you in a month's time to see how you feel about it, having had it for a month. You've signed up for it today. There's mobile phone news today for Virgin users. They will find themselves piggybacking a different network now.
Yes, lots of people don't realise this, but in fact, there is a difference between mobile phone providers or network providers and what are called mobile virtual network operators. And I've checked this morning again, and currently we have 64 mobile virtual network operators in this country. Virgin Mobile is one of them. People might use Tesco, TalkTalk Mobile, giffgaff, even BT Mobile. They're all virtual network providers, so they don't run the network themselves. They piggyback, like you say, on other providers. And in this case, Virgin are piggybacking onto EE's network, and of course EE is now a subsidiary of British Tele or BT.
Yeah.
So you can understand there may well be a conflict of interest where you have two competing companies, Virgin and BT in TV and in telecoms, where you would be looking for an alternative. I assume that's the reasoning behind it, or perhaps it's cost, but they are going to move on to Vodafone, I believe.
Users shouldn't
correct,
notice.
isn't it?
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, users shouldn't know any difference. Shouldn't notice any difference, right?
No, I shouldn't imagine there'll be any difference at all. You may get a text message come through to your mobile saying switch it off and on or something like that. And once you do that, it will just literally authenticate with a new carrier.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, it may be worthwhile people using these networks to check the coverage. Because I can tell you without any shadow of doubt, EE have the widest coverage in the entire country. That's no secret because of the size of their network. They should check whether or not they will still retain that coverage with other providers. So
that is a really interesting point.
Checking.
That is one of the fundamental differences between these major networks, isn't it? The coverage. And sometimes you can suddenly think, hang on, I used to get signal here. Why haven't I? Well, it's possible that could be the case with Virgin. Finally, Matt, anybody with Christmas on the way, it's important to know, anybody that wants to fly a drone now has to register and has to take an online test. My question, Matt, is what is the point? Because I don't see this thing being policed one little bit.
I think that we've both had situations in the past where we have taken steps to report what we felt were illegal flying or unlawful flying of drones, and felt that perhaps the response we got from authorities was zero.
Pretty much. And it was the resources. I mean, they were quite straight with me. Resources. We don't have the resources to pursue it. Well, you think, well, hang on a minute. What is the point of all this regulation and rules then if they're not, if there's no action being taken?
I think that what this does on a positive front, I think as a drone flyer and a professional drone flyer, with a commercial operations, so we're more knowledgeable in the whole space of drone flying. However, there is a distinct, it would seem, lack of knowledge within the non-commercial, the hobbyist space, new flyers. So what this actually does is make it very clear to people. So where people would walk up to me and go, "Got a license for that, mate?" Well, of course, if you've got a permission for commercial operations, that's not technically a license, it's a permission. And you can get into a long conversation about, actually, no, I haven't got a license, but I've got this, that, and the other. Now, what this does is it allows people to walk up to somebody flying a drone and say, have you got an ID number for that drone?
Which is now the law, isn't it? The drone now has to display the ID number that you're given from the CAA.
Yeah, so, a flyer ID and a... I can't remember what the other one is. Aircraft number.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So there's two numbers really, and you have to display that number on the drone so that you can actually give people show them, look, this is my flyer ID.
For what that might be worth, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
My concern is that, on the surface a good idea, but if it's not going to be policed, then it's frankly without point. It's £9 that somebody's making for no apparent reason.
Well, hopefully, all of those £9 put together will generate sufficient funds to enable investment to be put in place to be able to police this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Who knows? Many years ago, I had a CB radio, and I had to pay for a CB license, which was a tenner or something. So I could have that. And because I was a dutiful sort of 13 or 14-year-old, and my dad was as well. He wasn't 13 or 14, but he ensured I got the license from the post office. But somehow that money hopefully would trickle back and improve the like you say, the policing or the organisation of this kind of thing.
Bottom line is, if you're getting one for Christmas, you are going to have to do that registration, and you're going to have to follow the rules.
This is it. Yeah. I think that, again, there's a positive there, that if you do registration, then you spend 20 minutes either confirming that you're very knowledgeable on the rules or confirming that you're not very knowledgeable, and therefore you have to then go and find out the rules properly and understand them. What the CAA are allowing you is to take the test as many times as you like until you get a pass mark, I assume.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing. To be fair, I've done the test. It was easier, although I'm a commercial flyer and don't necessarily have to do it. It was easier and more straightforward for me to do it, pay the £9 and get the number, rather than apply for an exemption and all of this kind of thing. So I've done the test, and it is, there's some good valid questions in there, which if you guess, you're going to get them wrong. So you do kind of have to know.
There you go. Thank you very much to Matt Porter, our tech guru, each and every Thursday to catch up with the technology. Matt, we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you.